Merren is my name, and Wealth Protection Partners is my business. The emphasis being on protection, and what I'll do this morning is try and explain a little bit about how we can help small business owners, small and medium business owners, protect the business they've built up during the good times, so that if the worst happens, we can minimise the consequences financially anyway. Business protection against, I suppose there's two areas. One is illness and one is death. We can't protect it against economic factors like a downturn or anything like that, but it is a good time, I suppose. It fits in with the kind of air of caution that people have, that sometimes bad things do happen, so we can prepare for those things. Death, I suppose the consequences of death, if you like, can be very straightforward in that if you're a business partner or if your business partner dies, it's not just as simple as that person not being there anymore. It has an effect, or it has consequences across the board on the business. Not just your trading is going to drop, but there will also be a knock-on effect on the credit lines you have with people. Obviously there's that person's expertise and the relationships they have and the contacts they have disappear automatically, so potentially if there's two business people working together 50-50, 50% of the business could disappear just by that person's demise. If you're in a 50-50 partnership and one of the partners dies, under law the deceased partner, his share or her share of the business automatically goes to his estate, her estate. So the widow or widower of that person automatically inherits 50% of your business. The idea is to make sure that if that situation happens, or if there's a death in one of the business partners, there is a plan in place, a very clear plan as to what is going to happen. Business protection is about minimising the financial consequences to the business owner, to the business, and also to the business owner's family, I suppose, to their immediate family. We do that through insurance plans, and basically they're plans that are going to dole out money effectively if one of those two things happens, if there's an illness or if there's a sudden death. It can happen in a number of different ways. Basically there's income protection and there's a life policy, and the life policy is written as a key man policy or a partnership insurance or co-directors insurance. And effectively what happens is, if one of the two business partners, for example, were to die suddenly, a lump sum is paid out to the surviving business partner, with which they use that money to survive, really. The difference between key man partnership and co-directors is just what way the money is distributed. So in a key man policy, the money is received into the business and it's used by the business to bolster the cash reserves. With partnership insurance, again, if myself and Richard are in business together and I die, my widow inherits my share of the business, but when I die, Richard receives a lump sum with which he's obliged to pay off my widow, and she's obliged to sell back my share of the business to Richard, so he retains control of the business. Co-directors insurance, the difference between co-directors insurance and partnership insurance, there is no difference other than one is for a limited company and one is for a partnership. Income protection then is, again, if it's a death, it's very straightforward. It pays a lump sum out. Income protection is one of the better products out there insurance-wise, especially for smaller and medium business owners. It's geared towards that market. It replaces your income or provides you with an alternative source of income, and it moves the burden away from the cash reserves of the business to the insurance company. So you effectively become an employee of the insurance company, and they will pay you a replacement salary until you are fit to return to work. The opposite of income protection in terms of what it offers and how clearly it's defined would be critical illness. Critical illness is a policy that everybody's familiar with because it was always thrown in with your life policy. The unfortunate thing about critical illness is that it's almost impossible to get paid on because of the small print. Income protection is the complete opposite of that. Income protection will pay you your replacement salary if for any medical reason you cannot do your job. And it's not do any job, it's do your job. So if you're an architect, or you're a doctor, or you're a plumber, or whatever it may be, once you can't do your job, it will pay you out. And it will pay you until you're ready to go back to work. I have too much insurance. As I said to Lisa, everybody has too much insurance. People have policies they don't need. There's duplication all over the place. And it's a good time. As I said, what I'm spending a lot of my time now is making sure that anybody who's spending money on insurance is getting the most efficient use for their money. As I said, the life policies are written over such a short period of time that it tends to be very cheap. It's just something that needs to be monitored on an ongoing basis. And with income protection, you're entitled to 75% of what your salary is with income protection. But it very rarely goes that way. So I mean, if I'm talking to somebody who's earning 100 grand, they can take out a policy for a maximum of €75,000 in payout. But generally what happens is people have a budget in mind. So if I'm talking to Peter about it and I say, Peter, okay, it's going to cost you €200 a month for your income protection policy that's going to give you 75 grand or 75% of your salary. The premiums are tax deductible, and we'll go through all the bits and pieces. But generally what happens is Peter says, well, I had more of a €100 of a figure in mind, and that tends to be the way it goes. So when I'm quoting insurance people, I tend to quote 75% or the optimum level of cover, and then I suppose option B is how much will €100 a month buy you in replacement salary, and how much would €50, how much would €150, whatever target premium you have. That's it. And just, I suppose the last thing is nobody thinks twice about, I suppose, insuring their physical assets like their cars, their buildings, and that kind of thing. But it is more likely that there will be a decline in the business if something happens to the people within the business. So that's it.